Hey everybody, welcome back to a North Texas Weather Center forecast, and today we're looking at the potential for severe weather tomorrow, and we very well could see a severe weather outbreak, and we could see large hail to very large hail, damaging wind gusts, and the potential for a few tornadoes does exist. Let's take a look at the severe weather potential. We'll get to the future radar, and everything that you need to know in this forecast will all be included, so make sure to stay tuned for everything. So here's a look at the severe weather potential for tomorrow. We are under a slight risk of severe weather across most of North Texas, a marginal threat right along the Red River Valley, and then an enhanced risk down to our south. That would include Claiborne, Waco, and as well as even just east of Stephenville. Those areas are right now under enhanced risk for severe weather tomorrow. This is the best chance where you could see very large hail, damaging winds, and also a few tornadoes. And again, a few of those could be strong, and that could very well be anywhere from an EF3 tornado up to an EF5 tornado. So that's what we're really watching for tomorrow. Obviously, it's very rare to see an EF5 tornado, but I would definitely expect maybe a couple of EF3 tornadoes tomorrow in that region because of how much shear will be in that region. It's basically almost a perfect setup for severe weather. The exception would be that we will not have that much sunshine tomorrow, which will limit how much severe weather we do see. And obviously, if we had sunshine all day up until the storms developed, we very well could see a severe weather outbreak across all of North Texas. But however, that's not what we're looking at. So luckily, we'll have cloud cover in the morning, and even during most of the afternoon, that should limit how much severe weather we do see. Here's a look at the hail for tomorrow. So where's your best shot for hail? Well, the black hatched area, so this area here near Claiborne and Stephenville, that is where you could see 2 to 3 inch sized diameter hail. That means that we very well could see tennis ball sized hail across that region in some isolated locations. Now, I would expect, again, the greatest hail threat would be in that red shaded region. It's about a 30% chance within a 25-mile radius. Here in DFW, we're looking at a slight risk of hail, so that would basically be anywhere up to golf ball sized hail. I would expect, at least from some locations in DFW, the Metroplex, 15% chance within a 25-mile radius, and again, right along the Red River Valley, pretty low shot of any sort of severe weather tomorrow, but I would expect most of that severe weather to stay to our south. We will likely see some, though, here in the DFW Metroplex tomorrow afternoon. Taking a look at the tornado outlook, again, this is probably the biggest one of them all. We're looking at a pretty significant risk down to our south, a 10% chance within a 25-mile radius. There's also a black hatched region again, and that would include anywhere from Waco and down to the south, including College Station. That does not really include our region a whole lot, just our southern counties are included in that. Claiborne is kind of on the line there, pretty close to the 5 to 10% range there, but I would expect the worst of the tornado threat to stay to our south. I would expect, though, a potential for 1 to 2 tornadoes in and around the DFW Metroplex, so just watch out for that in case something does end up happening. Make sure you have a way to receive alerts because there's definitely going to be that potential. Damaging winds, we're looking primarily down to our southeast for damaging wind threat, but we are under a slight risk for some damaging winds here in the DFW Metroplex, so keep that in mind as well. Make sure you take the proper precautions there. Well, obviously it's dry today. We're under, a red flag warning. We're looking at the potential for, wildfires and whatnot back out to our west of I-35. But it's really dry, so why are we seeing this severe weather? Well, we're going to see a huge increase in moisture overnight. You can see by tomorrow morning, dew points will go from the 30s and 20s up to the 50s and even some low 60s down to our south. And eventually during the afternoon hours, you can see we are going to skyrocket into the mid to upper 60s for dew points and maybe even closer to 70 in some locations. I mean, even the DFW Metroplex, dew points get as high as 68, 69 degrees. So it's going to be very humid tomorrow. We will eventually dry out again going to Tuesday, but it will not be a significant drop and dew points up until Wednesday. We'll have a little bit of a chance for some showers on Tuesday. Tornado parameter. I would expect the worst tornado threat again down to our south. You can see the worst values are down here closer to southeast Texas. These are values from 2 to 4, which basically means that it's a pretty moderate to maybe even moderate high risk of maybe seeing a few tornadoes in that region. You can see closer to DFW, the values get as high as 2. But again, I think that we'll have enough cloud cover to hinder how much we do see in terms of a tornado threat. I would expect, though, at least 1 to 2 tornadoes in the North Texas region. Maybe a couple more than that, or maybe even none. But I would expect probably within the 1 to 2 range there. You can see the values going to pretty much the evening hours across southeastern and central eastern Texas. You can see those values are as high as 4 in some spots. So again, the worst threat will again be kind of in that Waco and College Station region. And eventually this threat will move off to our east eventually by Tuesday. Taking a look at the future, or actually, excuse me, I'm going to go to the cloud cover, then the future radar. So the cloud cover tomorrow, as I said before, we're going to have significant cloud cover, almost 100% cloud cover across the entire region. There will be some breaks of some sunshine, which could help some instability develop in our region, and that very well could potentially bring us some more severe weather. So that'll be something to watch. If we have cloud cover all day without any breaks of sunshine, we are looking at more of a marginal to maybe slight risk of severe weather. Now, if we have a lot of sunshine tomorrow, which is not expected, but if we had a lot, meaning there's almost no cloud cover, we would be looking at the potential for a complete severe weather outbreak, looking at maybe even more of a moderate risk of severe weather, the 4 out of 5 on the SPC scale. That's obviously probably not what's going to happen. We're probably going to see pretty much almost all cloud cover with maybe a few breaks of sunshine, which will give us that slight to maybe enhanced risk of severe weather here in the North Texas region. You can see going through the afternoon hours, cloud cover will basically be right around 100%. Maybe a few breaks, though, again, maybe between about 90 to 100% cloud cover tomorrow. Take a look at the future radar. We'll look at some showers and storms, maybe during the morning hours. No severe weather is expected really up until at least 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You see 1, 2 o'clock. Still some showers and maybe a few thunderstorms. Maybe a couple of storms with some large hail up to maybe quarter to golf ball size. That range will be what we might see. Eventually, by 4 o'clock, we start to see the worst of the severe weather starting to develop. You can see right around 4, a few strong to severe storms here in the Metroplex, and any of these pinks would represent large hail and maybe even a potential for a tornado, which would likely be in this region here. You can see near Waco, a little bit of a hook almost right there developing already by 4 o'clock. Obviously, it's just it's a computer model. It's not exact, but something along these lines is what we're expecting. Back out to the west, a few strong to severe storms. Large hail again possible if these storms back out to our west, near just west and southwest of Weatherford. Eventually, by 5 o'clock, severe storms really develop. Look at these whites here near Keelan, just southwest of Keelan, and near Austin. That's where we're looking for the potential for tennis ball sized hail, and that could be very, very large hail that we're watching out in those regions. By 6 o'clock, the storms move out to the east, going right along I-35W. Severe storms ongoing near Dallas and Plano, and even up to Sherman. 7 o'clock, you can see those white spots are still showing up, which is very heavy rain and also very large hail. That's what those regions are going to be looking at down to the south and southwest of us. Eventually, by 8, 9 o'clock, the storms move out to our east. High tornado threat still exists through at least 12 or 1 in the morning, and eventually this all moves out to our east, and we should dry out for the most part Tuesday, with a couple of lingering showers still possible in our area heading into Tuesday. Let's take a look at your latest 7-day forecast, and again, kind of giving you a day-by-day breakdown. Sunday, we'll be looking at temperatures in the upper 70s, which is today. Going into Monday, we'll see temperatures back into the upper 60s. Most of us will be below 70 degrees, which will make it relative humidity pretty close to 100%. Lows will start to drop back into the 30s by mid-next, or this week, excuse me. Going into Tuesday, we'll be looking at low 50s for highs. It's going to be pretty chilly on Tuesday. Lows back into the 30s, as I said before. Wednesday will start to warm back up, dropping again on Thursday. But eventually by next weekend, we should get back into the 60s and maybe even closer to 70 by Saturday. This forecast is brought to you by Platinum Contracting, THD Vehicle Doorstep, and as well as Birdie's Pro Turf.